Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Following Tesla's 4% rally on Friday, we need to talk. What's coming next for Tesla stock heading into the Robotaxi event that is later this week, this upcoming week? It's already here. I will share my thoughts and opinions around this event and what could happen to Tesla stock following this event. But first, we do have some Tesla news to go over. The Tesla Model Y was the 4th best-selling car in the UK in September. It was the only EV on the top 10 best-selling cars list. W Supercharger access will potentially be delayed until later in 2025 for an unknown reason. Tesla launches the Model Y long-range rear-wheel drive in Canada and ends sales of the Model Y rear-wheel drive. And the Model Y long-range rear-wheel drive has received its official EPA range rating in the US, and it gets 337 miles of range, 5.3% higher than Tesla's own 320 mile range estimate that was previously displayed on the online configurator. So good news for Tesla's range capabilities. The Dubai police force have now added a Lucid Air to their fleet. They have also recently added a Cybertruck. In other Tesla-adjacent news, General Motors says it is working on an eyes-off, hands-off driving system. Quote, Super Cruise, I think, is an industry-leading L2 solution for hands-off, eyes-on. Dave Richardson, Senior VP of Software and Services Engineering at GM, said, we're looking aggressively to make that an L3 solution, where you don't even have to look at the road anymore. The fact of the matter is, you need data to make this happen. Unless you're putting some bulky sensors on the car, you need a lot of data to train your algorithms to do this hands-off, eyes-off driving. And the fact of the matter is, Tesla is really the only company that will ever have the data necessary to make this happen in reasonable time. Could GM get there? Yes, but it's going to take probably a decade to get to where Tesla is today. That is because there is such a data advantage that Tesla has, where Tesla has already installed the necessary capabilities for FSD on all of their vehicles. So they already have the capability of recording and taking in data, even if you're not recording on your Tesla. Tesla can still see the road, see the actions that are taking place on each and every single Tesla out on the road and collect that data. GM, from my understanding, does not have that capability because this was not something they were planning for 10 years ago, and they didn't start installing these things on vehicles. I'm sure they have now started to install the necessary equipment to at least capture some of that data, but it's long overdue. In Q3 2024, battery electric vehicle sales came in for Ford at 23,509, up 12% year over year. GM comes in at 32,195, up 60% year over year. And Tesla comes in at 462,890, up 6% year over year, which is impressive for Tesla because Tesla's number was larger to begin with. So growing even 6% year over year is impressive when you're growing such a large number. It's easy for, Ford and GM to have a higher growth rate when they're starting at smaller numbers. With that said, again, Tesla stock rallied 4% on Friday. Some of this is likely in anticipation of the Robotaxi event coming this Thursday. Yes, it's almost here already, which is kind of crazy. I remember it was 2 months ago, and when Elon postponed the Robotaxi event, and it felt like it was going to take forever to get here, and now it's coming in this upcoming week. Now, part of the reason Tesla rallied 4% was the blowout jobs report that we got on Friday also, which really pushed back on the recession argument. It really pushed back on, again, that hard landing argument, and potentially gave markets more of a valuation support. Now, I have said for a while on this channel, I think there's going to be a rally into this event with the jobs report out the way, with bank earnings that really don't kick off until Friday of this upcoming week, with not much economic data this week. I think Tesla stock can now be free to rally into the robotaxi event. Now, there has been some things that have obviously derailed that, some pieces of economic data that have not been as good, like ISM manufacturing PMIs, ISM services PMIs, some other smaller data points that have kind of derailed this market a bit, not to mention the geopolitical tensions that are happening in the Middle East. But now I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, I would be surprised if Tesla stock did not rally into this upcoming Thursday's robotaxi event. Now, if Tesla does not rally into the robotaxi event, I would expect a rally after the robotaxi event, because I think generally speaking, we're going to be impressed with this event. I don't see a scenario where Tesla has a bad event. I just don't see the point of having an event if it's going to be a bad event. And I think that's part of the reason why the Tesla team delayed this 2 months to finalize some things and fully get ready. Now, for any of you guys that are invested in Tesla, you know, all in on Tesla, this is what matters most. Do we get guidance for the robotaxi network? Do we get guidance for the start of robotaxi rides? Is that a 2025 thing? Is that a 2026 thing? Is that a 2027 thing? Now, I've done a lot of thinking on this, as I've said in prior videos, and I don't see why Tesla would do this event and then not give us guidance for the robotaxi network, for the start of, you know, robotaxis. It wouldn't make sense if Tesla is going to not give us guidance or, you know, tell us 2026 or something like that. It just doesn't make sense why you would hold this event in 2024. The only logical conclusion that I can come to, just thinking logically here, is you're probably going to get guidance for that robotaxi network to start in 2025. And with the current market environment that we have, that can be very inducive of a larger rally in Tesla stock. The Fed's cutting rates, markets are dead set on a soft landing, Tesla's still down like 40% from all-time highs, and you're finally getting what will be the robotaxi network. I mean, what's really here to stop Tesla at this point? Right? Fundamentals should be improving, margins should be improving, and you get this outsized, you know, growth factor or catalyst that should start with Tesla in 2025. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to not like here. Not to mention the next gen lower priced vehicles like the Model 2, some people have called, will also be starting deliveries hopefully in the first half of 2025, and that's going to be something else to look forward to. Now, there's some speculation that we will get those new models revealed to us this upcoming Thursday. I actually think Tesla is going to schedule a separate event, maybe end of November or December, for the, you know, compact lower priced Tesla vehicles. I don't think they're going to use this event to unveil those, but that's always a possibility. So from the perspective of Tesla stock, I think you can justify Tesla going much higher than where it is today at about $250 per share. I think you can make a reasonable case for $300 or $350 or potentially new all-time highs at this point, given, again, where we are with the markets, given the soft landing prospects that investors have. You know, election comes and goes. I really don't think that's a huge catalyst for markets anyways, but that comes and goes, uncertainty gone. Israel looks like they're going to respond to Iran. There's, I guess, speculation that this will happen on October 7th, which is Monday for us. But in the Middle East, Israel, it's going to be Sunday night. That's like Monday. Okay, and October 7th, seen as symbolic because that was a year ago since the attack on Israel. And the big really question there is, does Israel target Iran's oil capabilities? If they do, then oil is going to go up, and that's going to be a bigger problem for markets. Anything else, I think, will just be, you know, hey, it's finally here, said and done. There's escalation. How bad is it? If it's not that bad, then you will see markets rally like the last time. But we will talk about that a little bit more in the next video. On Friday, you had a ton of shares that were covered on. You had about 770,000 shares that were covered on Friday. That's a lot, and it's kind of continuing the same trend that we have seen recently. That brings Tesla's short interest of free float to 2.77%. You have $18.5 billion currently sold short in Tesla, totaling 76.87 million shares in total that are sold short. Option activity for Tesla stock on Friday was very positive. Also, you had 176 different trades totaling $68.24 million with a positive order value of 81%. The option activity expiring by October 11th has the call open interest at 66% and the put open interest at about 34%. So there's about 2 times as many calls versus puts. Sentiment for Tesla as of now is sitting at 38, which is bearish. Yesterday you were at 76, which was extremely bullish. This does tend to happen over the weekends. You tend to get people that kind of stop talking about stocks. They go on there, do their weekend thing, and you do tend to see the bears come out more on the weekends, so not super surprising to see that. Message volume is low today at 40, and the participation ratio is high at 55. Tesla continues to run about 4,000 different ads with Google. Global inventory numbers for Tesla have recently shot up for the Model Y and the Model 3, falling a little bit over the past 2 days. Model Y at 6,800, Model 3 at 4,000, Model X at 3,400, and the Model S at about 2,100 total vehicles in inventory. Something I am watching pretty closely here is the Google Trends activity for Tesla. It's some of the best, I think, anecdotal data that we can look at for Tesla's demand in the US. We should start to see this pick up as we head into October, because we're now into Q4, and that tends to be Tesla's best quarter every year. So you do want to see Google Trends start to pick up. That is not happening as of now. The Cybertruck is at 42, the Model Y at 22, the Model 3 at 20, the Model S at 9, and the Model X at 7. So just going back to the charts here for a moment, Tesla found a lot of support around that 246 level. That's a critical level I've been pointing out. You can see the line here drawn on the charts. That's kind of where we bottomed out on Friday, found a lot of support once you got back above 246. That is the gap fill level that we had on July 23rd when Tesla did fall about 12.3%. So you're back above that level. I think between now and that 271 high, it's an important level. If you break above 271, then you will experience a larger rally to likely the 300s. Now, there's going to be a lot of things happening this upcoming week. Geopoliticals, some election concerns potentially. There's going to be a lot of different things going on. But Wall Street's going to start placing their bets on Tesla. And I really think there's not a strong reason to bet against Tesla at this point. Like, I can't think of a bear case scenario for Tesla itself, besides if we don't get guidance for the robotaxi start. If we don't get guidance for the robotaxi start, like a start date, then Tesla stock's going to sell off after that event. But if Elon Musk comes out and says, we're expecting robotaxis to begin operations in 2025, that's all you need to see, and Tesla stock's going to rally aggressively. Markets are going to take it for what it is. And yeah, they might say, well, Elon's been kind of over-optimistic in the past. Yes, but they will go with that target if that's the guidance that is set forth by Tesla. And especially recently, Tesla's kind of came through with their projections, right? So these are just my thoughts. So I think it depends what happens this week. If Tesla rallies into the event, depending on how high it goes, you could potentially see a sell the news effect. If Tesla does not rally into this event, then I would expect a very large rally after the event. But hey, those are just my opinions. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. You guys have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one.